morning. Thank you for coming. My name is Justin Wilson. I'm the Communications Director for the Institute for Justice. We are a national public interest law firm based in Arlington, Virginia, but with a nationwide scope. Today we are filing a lawsuit to free Texas's craft brewers. It's a property rights case that strikes at the core of the Texas Constitution. For today's press conference, I'll be joined by Arif Panju. He is an attorney in our Texas office, and Chip McElroy, the owner of Live Oak Brewery. So, Arif?
Thanks for coming. This morning, the Institute for Justice teamed up with Live Oak Brewing Company, along with Revolver Brewing and Petacolas Brewing Company, to file a major constitutional challenge against the state of Texas. They do not seek any money. They simply seek to vindicate their property rights under the Texas Constitution. Property can be more than a house or a building. Property can be something intangible, like a brand, the right to sell your product, the right to publish a book you've written. Historically in Texas and in other states around the country, brewers would negotiate with distributors to sell their exclusive distribution rights so their beer could be distributed across the state. Brewers would then take this money and reinvest it in their businesses, to grow them, to brew more beer, and to expand. In 2013, as craft beer rises all across the country and around Texas, the Texas legislature passed a law that makes it illegal for brewers like Live Oak to go to the bargaining table and sell their distribution rights. Now they have to hand them over for free to distributors. And distributors can then sell them amongst themselves and pocket the money. This law does nothing to protect consumers. It is a naked transfer of wealth from hardworking brewers like Live Oak, who have built up their business, that simply transfers that over to distributors who haven't earned it, don't deserve it, and only have it because their political connections helped change the law. The law we challenge in this lawsuit challenges the use of public power for the private gain of distributors. It is unconstitutional. The Texas Constitution protects our property rights and our economic liberty. This law violates those rights. We are ready to take this all the way up to the Texas Supreme Court if we have to. I'd like to introduce you to our new lead client who filed a lawsuit today to challenge and protect their property rights, Live Oak Brewing Company's founder, Chip McElroy. Chip?
Thank you. Thank you, Arif. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the opportunity to try and get back our property. Here's the deal. We started this brewery 18 years ago, with very little. We shoestring budget, a hope and a prayer and a dream, and last legislative session they turned that dream into a nightmare. Through the hard work of myself and our employees here, some of whom are standing behind me, and we have 21 people working here now. Through all of our hard work over the last 18 years, we've really built up the value of our business. A lot of people know Live Oak Brewing Company now. They know our beers, and that has a certain value to it. But that's not the only value. It's not just the beers, it's our distribution effort. We have here, these are all brewers. We have a distribution staff made up of salespeople, of drivers, draft technicians, line cleaners, and through their hard work, we have delivered exceptional customer service. And that has a certain value to it. And the beer distributors are very aware of that value. Business valuators can figure out what that value is. It is the majority of the value of our business entire. some politically connected beer distributors, in a cynical manipulation of our legislative system, took that hard-earned property from us and awarded it to themselves. They didn't want to pay what they know better than anyone else, because it's what they do, beer distribution. They didn't want to pay what they know it's worth. And so they took it from us and gave it to themselves. That's what this lawsuit is going to address. We just want to get our property back. Thank you very much for coming.
We'll take questions.
Just one of them is, so what was it like before this legislation went into place? What was different before it went into place and what's going on now?
We were able to negotiate with beer distributors if they wanted to carry our products. We were able to negotiate with them as to what they felt and what we felt. It was a business transaction. What do you think this is worth? What do I think it's worth? And then have them take over the beer distribution in a designated territory. And we could receive monetary compensation for that. Now we can't. We have to give it to them for free. And just to rub salt in the wound, if I sell it to them or if I give it away to them on Monday, that same beer distributor can sell it to another beer distributor for, believe it or not, millions of dollars.
Mike, staying close to the mics.
Yeah.
How
Sorry.
much do you think you could sell your distribution rights?
Well, I don't know. It hasn't been evaluated, but it runs into the millions.
And why haven't you sold them before? Why not, last year or 2 years ago?
Well, we've been building up the value. We're able to do a very good job of self-distributing ourselves right now. And the more that we do it, the more value we build up. And frankly, we do a very good job of it. So the time wasn't right.
Is that how you get all of your beer out to market, is self-distributed?
No, a couple of years ago, we did sell off our territorial rights to a couple of beer distributors down in Houston, and that's turned out to be a great deal. To Faust Distributing Company and Houston Distributing Company, and we have a very good relationship with them.
You mind telling us how much those were sold for?
That's a business transaction between me and them.
So, can you kind of walk us through the process that you would go through now? So now you have to essentially, if you want to bring in another distributor, you just hand over those rights for free. Can you explain the process under the current law, how that would work? How would you go about deciding, who you're going to work with and make that transaction if there's no money involved?
Well, those are decisions that would be made by me and by the beer distributors should they want to carry our products, and then we would they have a certain territory that they work in, and it would be carefully spelled out, and then we just sign a paper that says you can do it.
It's important to recognize that these are property rights, and once distributors have them, they're exclusive and they're into perpetuity. They're exclusive and they don't terminate. And so when they're vested and they acquire that property right, it's theirs for life.
And when you think about the value of a business, think about a beer distributorship. They've got hundreds or at least tens of millions of dollars tied up in trucks and real estate and their warehouse and everything, but that's probably not the major value in their company. It's the fact that they have the territorial distribution rights for certain brands of beer.
Is there a lawmaker that you can point to that slipped this in, and at what point did it get slipped into the bill that became the law?
I don't really want to. I want to talk about getting my property back.
It's all connected, though.
It
in
is.
a capital city too.
Right.
I think that's a big.
What we know is that Chip McElroy and Live Oak and Revolver and Peticolas brew beer. They are not lobbyists. And you're correct. In 2013, there were some good reforms. And at the 11th hour, something slipped in. That is unconstitutional because it ripped the property rights
We need
out
to
of
find
it.
out who slipped it in so we can ask how and why.
Sure.
Can you help with that?
That might be in the legislative history. We point you to the legislative history of Bill 639 on the Senate side in last legislative session. So Senate Bill 639.
So what's next? You guys are filing a lawsuit.
Sure. What's next is we filed a lawsuit this morning in Travis County District Court. This is a state constitutional challenge under the Texas State Constitution. It has two claims, a property rights claim and an economic liberty claim. Property rights can be violated by the state. They can condition the license that Chip needs to open and brew beer on him having to give away part of his property to a distributor. It also violates economic liberty, the right to earn an honest living free from unreasonable government interference. And both those claims are protected. And those rights are enforced by courts who apply the Constitution and its rights and its protections in a meaningful way.
There's more than just the 3 breweries you're naming in the Austin area. Are they going to jump on board on this, or have you been in talks with some of the other brew companies, or?
The relief that we seek in this lawsuit would apply to everyone. So we hope everyone supports us. But the entrepreneurs who decided to stand up and defend constitutional rights when they're being put at risk and being violated are Live Oak Brewing, Revolver Brewing, and Peticolas Brewing.
Just to clarify, so the distributor deal that you guys already have, company out of Houston, does that apply only to a specific geographical area?
Yes.
And what we're talking about is if you want to pick up a distributor who will bring it into different markets that aren't covered under that group?
That's correct. That's correct. So there's a lot of Texas left.
Any other questions? We can break.